We're at South by Southwest. This is the world premiere of The Accountant 2, and it's been, 8 years, I guess, sort of in the making since the first movie. MGM and Amazon have a partner, Artist Equity, and I'm really, really proud to be bringing this movie to South by. I had a wonderful experience here with Air when we premiered that, and the audience here is spectacular. This is a really great theater. It's a great town. I can't think of a better place to come premiere the movie. But Gavin, is a guy I've worked with a couple of times. It's my third movie with him. I love him. He's wonderful. What I love about his movies is that, yes, when whatever genre he's working in, sports genre, action movie, he fulfills all those things. He makes a great version of that. But underneath it, there's always humor and humanity and a connection to the characters. It's just the whole package, and I'm really proud of the movie. I love it. Gavin does a fabulous job, and I can't wait for you to see it. My character is a guy named Wolff, who's very gifted with numbers and sort of solving puzzles and kind of front brain. He's extremely smart, so I had to fake that part. But he's also has a difficult time connecting with people and feeling comfortable, and so he's got these kind of superpowers, and he also happens to be expertly trained both money launderer and sort of deadly weapon. But in terms of getting along with and managing his relationship, particularly with his brother who he loves and is estranged from, is a hard time. He's both trying to figure out how to have a relationship with a woman and how to meet people and date, and having a tough time with that, and also trying to reconnect with his brother. So really at the heart of the movie, it's about a guy trying to figure out how to be a person in the world and have good relationships. Cynthia, Daniella, Jon, even JK is in the movie. It's a wonderful cast full of really talented people. What I love about what Bill Dubuque and Gavin did with the story is all the characters in it are kind of fully developed and realized. It's not just one character that is a real person and everyone else is sort of only interesting in terms of how they relate to that person, but there are all these fully realized characters, and so it's like multiple protagonists, and I think it just makes for a much more interesting movie.
I think in one way, it's this great action movie that totally checks all the boxes. It's exciting. It's got really cool performances, but I just think that there's so much more underneath. It's really a Trojan horse for, again, the complications of family dynamics and not being able to say the things that you always want to say, and brotherhood, and I just think there's so many themes underneath it. It's just a super layered story, and I think that's what we dig into in the second. Yeah, look, Gavin's family to me. He's made so many wonderful movies, so many of my favorites. He's able to put so much heart and so much. He really likes to dig into the complications between people, and he digs into the complicated nature of brothers and brotherhood, and how hard it is to tell people that you love them. He picks at these wounds, he creates these wounds, and then he dives right into them. I love Gavin. I love working with him. He's family to me. Wow. Okay. So I played Brax in The Accountant 2. Look, it's been 8 years, and I think we feel every bit of those 8 years. Not just that we're 8 years older, but The Accountant 1 finished by them agreeing that they were going to meet up in a couple weeks, and they did. It was 8 years, and that takes a huge toll. Look, I just think in the first movie, Braxton and Chris only got to be together a little bit. You learn so much about their backstory, but this one, they're really, it's really so much about the two of them and their dynamic, and I can't think of anybody better to work with on that than Ben. He's a real hero of mine, and I'm so proud to call him a friend. He's equal parts a beautiful human being as he is a beautiful artist, and I'm just I'm really proud of this movie, and I'm really grateful to have done it with so many people that I love. This is the kind of movie you want to go have fun, you want to laugh and cheer, and it's definitely a big experience. Get out there and see it. You won't regret it for sure.
Yeah, well, obviously we've got Ben and Jon returning, JK as well. You will see him in the movie, and Daniella, who's the new addition, a new character, Anais. And you know what? It's lovely to get to work on something like this where there's a small core group, and we're led by over on this side our director Gavin, and I think it requires a lot of trust. You know, it was lovely to just be able to sort of get to work on something like this. We got to film in LA, which is where I live, which is always wonderful and awesome. And it felt like we were all striving to really honor these characters because people are so invested in their fates. So you want to sort of make sure that you really, you know, honor that, because people want to make sure that these characters basically kind of can make it through the course of the story. So yeah, it's just great. We're just like a merry band of travelers and weirdos, and we're just happy to get to like finally share this movie. Well, we're at South by Southwest. This is the premiere. This is the first time we're showing it to an audience. I'm excited to see it with this. Obviously, you can hear them in the back. This is my first time at South by Southwest, so we've had nothing but love and an incredibly warm reception, and this is going to be a night to remember. So I play Marybeth Medina. I work at the Treasury department. In the first movie, I was just a lowly analyst, and Ray King, played by J.K. Simmons, he sort of plucks me out of obscurity, and he sees something in me. And so here we are, 8 years later, accountant 2. I'm now deputy director, so I've got a nice fancy position, and I'm gonna need the accountant's help. I've got to track him down and call him up and say, hey, I need you to help solve this puzzle. So we kind of have different approaches to how we work. I kind of like rule of law. I like following, legal boundaries, and let's just say that Christian Wolff and his brother Brax do not. As somebody who is a lover of movies and a lover of enjoying things, having a communal experience, you want to laugh with people, you want to cry with people, you want to gasp, and I think to sort of feel the electricity, I feel like it's something that we should cherish even more in this moment. You know, you can always watch it at home, because this is a movie you probably want to watch a few times so you can see the clues you missed, but I think as a first-time view, 100% in the movie theater. Take your friends, take your family. Absolutely.
Ben and I really only got to know each other more on this press tour. We had one scene which was so intense. But it's been wonderful. You know, Gavin O'Connor really cares a lot about this movie. And I think that what sets this movie apart from just being a regular old shoot-'em-up action movie is that if you've seen Gavin's previous films, they always have a heart. They're always story first, character first. And I think that that's why this movie is fucking awesome, because it's funny, but it'll make you cry. There's a lot of comedy in it. It has something for everybody. And also I think for people, neurodivergent people and autistic people really love this character. I think that they feel in a good way represented by Christian. I play Anais, who is an assassin. She is also neurodivergent. I won't go into what her divergent is, but she is someone who is a bit of an anti-hero. She's really dangerous and messed up, but she's also, there's a softness there. So that's as far as I'll go. I'll tell you this, Gavin O'Connor made this movie for you to see in theaters. It's just designed that way, and that's the only way I want to see big movies like this. So yeah, theaters all the way. I am so excited. I've been wanting this movie to come out for so long. I saw the first one in theaters. My dad loved it because it was about some weird guy who pinches his pennies and doesn't spend money, but has millions in the bank. I don't know why, but shout out to my dad. He loved that. And this is probably the best part I've ever had. So I'm just soaking it in.
I spent most of my time with the 5 teenage students, and then when I got to meet the other stars of the cast, all very grounded, all very lovely, intelligent, talented people. I really enjoyed it. I think it'll be a fabulous theatrical experience with so much big action and big personalities, things going on. You have to see it in the theaters, yes. I play the character Justine, who is the main character, Chris's handler and childhood best friend. And she's on a mission from behind the computer, and she's the leader of a group of students who help her with her
42.
Not so legal things she does.
Christian's a very unique character. I think it's a very sort of eccentric kind of action movie. It's very character conscious. So I think that people respond to that. And even though he's a specific guy on a spectrum and all that, but I think what he's dealing with is universal for everybody, looking for love, looking for connection. And so I think it's universal, and I think people respond to that. What they brought new to the table is they knew the character so well, having done it once, and we spent a lot of time, a lot of conversations about the characters, and it got to a point I just kind of just let them go because they knew them so well, and so they just played, and I just captured it. Never been to South by Southwest before, so it was the first time, and just really grateful to be here and to be playing at this theater. Is just an awesome experience, so I'm very excited. It is a departure from the first. Made a lot of left turns, definitely bending the genre, and it's what we discovered, which was my intention, but you don't know you put up in front of it all. It's a crowd-pleasing movie. So I think when you walk in the theater, the lights come down. It's a communal experience. Everyone's experiencing emotion simultaneously. It goes through everything. It's definitely this is a movie theater movie. Well, so we brought JK back, and he doesn't last as long as we'd like in the movie. But that was when Bill and I were constructing the script, the key in the ignition was we wanted to make it personal, so if we lose Ray, it's sort of personal for everybody when they go on this investigation. And Cynthia, hi. Oh, she's right next to me. Yeah. It was just a pleasure. She's the best, so just a pleasure working with her, and Daniela's new to the cast, and she was a joy to work with as well. We had a ball making the movie. We really did. It was a fun experience.
It was an incredible experience. It's by far the most accommodating film set I've ever worked on. They made a big effort to hire neurodivergent actors to play their neurodivergent characters, and they really listened to us. They brought us in for a test run just to ask us what we would be doing and what would make us most comfortable. The quietest film set I've ever been on, for sure. But yeah, it was a really lovely experience to feel really included like that. And though they made a whole point to cast actors who had been out as neurodivergent, I can tell you now we weren't the only neurodivergent people on set. They just didn't know it yet. Gavin is amazing. Don't tell him I said this. He's one of those people who was like, yeah, we're a little more similar than you would think. He is an amazing person. He would get along so well with my dad. It's crazy. We just talked about movies and video games the whole time. It felt like I was just hanging out with a family friend. He was so genuinely glad to listen to what we had to say and interested in every little piece of information we had. It made me feel very seen.
Okay, so it was my first real acting experience. I did musical theater before, but this was it was a whole other level. Our director Gavin was incredible. He was actually incredible to work with him, and to work with the other kids in our team was awesome. Avery and I have known each other for a very long time, so it was just fun, and we all clicked together just really fast. It was just an overall wonderful experience.